Alright, welcome back, guys. This is episode 4, and this is Wedge Patterns 101. I just wanted to add on very quickly to the previous episode about, the wedge and the entry and stuff like that. And I just wanted to go a little bit more in detail about, the different setups that we trade, right? The different wedges, because there is 3 main types of wedges that we like to trade, which is the falling wedge, the pennant, and the ascending wedge. So let's get into it. All right. So the first one I'll be going over is the falling wedge, right? So we have our initial move up, and then we have kind of this channel that gets created as we put in lower highs and lower lows. So it'll look something like this, right? We still have compressing price action, getting tighter, but we have this falling sort of price action, right? And then you take the entry, either here or here, wherever has a clearer resistance point on the actual setup, and you play it into the zone right up above, right? So the falling wedge is identified by lower highs and lower lows, right? And then you can have your stop right underneath. And this is, one of my favorite out of the 3, because it just gives such a good risk to reward, right? Because you're entering here, your stop loss is right below, and you're playing for a push into the zone right up above. So this is the falling wedge. And then we have the pennant, which is we have our move up, and we have our higher lows and lower highs, right? So it'll look something like this. Okay. As price is coming together, compressing. I mean, these 3 examples will all look the same, but it's literally just the angle at which they form, right? Is pretty much the only difference. But the same thing with this, right? You take our entry, either here or either here through the break of the wedge, and then you'll have your stop loss right below into the zone up above or whatever previous price action there is. So yeah, so this is the pennant, okay? So compressing price action, higher lows, lower highs, and yeah. And then the third one is going to be the ascending wedge, which is we have our move up, and then we have our higher lows into a kind of let me do that again. Higher lows into this resistance right up above, right? It's like something like that. So this is higher lows into a flat top resistance above, right? And this gives us a clear entry point because it's such an obvious resistance, right? And then again, you take our entry as we break through the high, right, of that resistance, entry right there, with a stop loss right below, right? So again, falling wedge, pennant, and ascending wedge, right? They're all, pretty similar, but there's different characteristics to each one of them, okay? And just to go into some quick examples, okay, well, here. So for Palantir, we have our move up, right? And then we have our move down, like this. All right, so what? We have our move up, and then we have move down. So we have the higher lows, lower highs, right? As price compresses and gets tighter and tighter. And you have our entry right here and our stop loss right below. I was watching this for today, but Palantir ended up gapping up above, so it actually didn't give us an entry. But I mean, it ended up playing nicely, right? And as you can see, we're holding these levels of support / resistance right up above, right? Because we gapped up and we came back down to retest it. So, and right now we're building above this level, right? But that's a little bit besides the point. The point is Palantir is a pennant wedge. Okay, move up, higher lows, lower highs, right? Coming together. Palantir pennant, and then Microsoft I was also watching today, except this got invalidated since we gapped lower, but the main point, right, is the setup. So we have our move up, and then we have our ascending wedge. Why? Because we have the higher lows into this clear resistance right up above, right? Because we have multiple touches, and it's again like this flat top zone of resistance, right? So we would have played the breakthrough into this zone right up above, right? So that's the ascending wedge, and then well, I guess here CRM again. This is move up, higher lows, lower highs, consolidation sideways, and this is a pennant, right? And then play with a breakthrough into the highs, and I mean, yeah, I ended up working out. I wasn't watching it because it's not in the time frame that we trade in, so but it did end up working out, right? So again, this is another pennant, higher lows, lower highs, breakthrough on big volume, and into the zone above, which it would have worked out, so that was nice. Yeah, we can use this. So IWM, this is kind of a falling wedge because we have the lower highs and lower lows, except I'm not a huge fan just because this candle is a little iffy, right? Because it kind of invalidates it. But again, I mean, the main concept is we have the move up, lower lows, lower highs. We break through the wedge into the resistance right up above, right? So we could have entered probably somewhere here in that zone as we're breaking the wedge, which it would have end up working out right into the zone right up above. So I mean, these are just real life examples, right, that I literally pulled from just today. These are just the setups that I was watching for this morning, and it's so nice because these setups always repeat themselves day after day. So again, these are falling wedge, pennant, and ascending wedge, and these are all A+ setups that I will take every time, and they have just honestly the best risk to reward, and they're just they're identifiable every single day, so. But yeah, and then just stay tuned, and in the next episode I'll be going over risk management and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you guys.